Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and looks like the third-party Switch games on the Switch 2, to be precisely, are not doing well. Oh, well, I have to be honest. I have to say that I enjoy this one because I know the Switch 2 is selling well thanks to these fucking Nintendrons. That the only thing they know is how to consume based on nostalgia, eating the same shit, regurgitated. But looks like it is that way. That's the only thing they consume. They don't care about the third party ones. Because look at this. Third party Switch 2 game sales have started off slow, with one publisher selling below or lowest estimates. So someone started to complain with Nintendo, hey, your best selling console is not doing anything good to us as you promised it. So Cyberbox 2077 has enjoyed some success on Switch too. However, I have to, thanks to the Mutahars on the world. Yeah, that guy is still getting roasted to this day. Third-party games have reportedly struggled to sell on Nintendo Switch 2 at launch, with one publisher claiming that his game has sold below. Yeah, okay. So whilst the Nintendo Switch 2 hardware has enjoyed record-breaking launch sales, some third-party publishers have reportedly found that the console's success hasn't translated to a thriving third-party market yet. In a new report from the game's businesses, it's claimed that other than CD Projekt Red, Cyberbox 2077. Yeah, I almost forgot. I have to call it what it is. Cyberbox. I'm not never going to forget that disastrous launch. Continue on. Most third-party games have struggled to sell on Switch too. Most quote unquote most third-party Switch 2 games have posted very low numbers to report rates. One third-party publisher characterizes the numbers as quote unquote below or lowest estimates despite strong hardware sales. Well, the only thing they got to buy, even after all the money spent on the Switch 2, is just Mario Kart World. Because nobody in their right mind is going to spend more money, even for cartridge. That at this point, man, these fuckers think that they are going to make increasing sales. What they released were primarily also remasters, excuse me, demasters or ports of current games that are receiving updates, such as Street Fighter 6 from Capcom. And that one told to you, oh yeah, you have to remit the code. You have to redeem that before this date because the code is about to expire. For all the digital goods that is worded for all the updates within that release, allegedly. So I remember I saw that I covered it. So that fucking dog shit trend in practice that was on to this day with Sony, Nintendo said let's copy that. And you instantly see that I'm not going to spend $80 for this. Or even if I decide to get a physical copy, a cartridge that doesn't have any data and is a expired redeemable code. If they decided to buy Nintendo Switch 2 years later at a discount. Yeah, they fuck up because this one is not going to benefit third parties at all. Mostly because, like I said, they what they are complaining are the masters of said games, and at this point they are even going to stick to PC or whatever console they already bought within that game. But I have to bet probably Sega, the one bitching about it. But well, let's continue on if we figure it out. So, according to the report, 62% of Switch 2 physical game sales in the US during the console launch week came from first party titles. Yeah, only for the exclusives. I expected this shit. That it was still going to sell even the quote unquote physical games because the only thing they have in physical is just a case which doesn't have anything other than that. a redeemable code. Continue on. This excludes the Mario Kart World Bundle, which accounted for the vast majority of console sales in the region. According to Circana data, the three best-selling physical games in the US during the Switch 2 launch week were Mario Kart World, Cyberbox 2077. I have to wonder why, but well, I'm not going to complain with that one yet. And The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. And if all of those morons thought bought it, even after they already had a Nintendo Switch, yeah, Nintendo deserves to be scammed for everything what it's worth from them. So continue. Nielsen Q data shows that in the UK, 80% of Switch 2 physical games sold in the UK during launch week were first-party games. If the Mario Kart World Bundle is included, if it's excluded, the figure is 48%. Cyberbox 2077 was the best-selling third-party game in the UK during the system launch week. I still am making those questions. Why? Because even I cannot figure out other than yeah they got sold on the anime. The owners of the Nintendo Switch 2 didn't want to buy a PC to get it. Maybe, but well, it's that one is the only third-party game selling there. So continue on. There are numerous potential reasons for the relatively slow start for third-party games on Switch 2. The high attach rate for Mario Kart World implies that a lot of players are happy not to play that for now and explore the rest of the lineup once they've done it with Mario Kart. It's because of the pricing of that shit. It's because of the said price. Yeah, at this point, yeah, not many autos that decided to jump on the Switch 2. They're going to say, yeah, if I buy this one and this one and this one, some small amounts of Nintendos are going to do that because that's the only thing they know how to burn more money than they already have. But well, let's continue. Switch 2 backwards compatibility also means players have number of outdoors games they can play at launch, which in this case is true. And the Switch 2 doesn't have much of a jump within generations at performance level because it's just basically a PC Station 4 but portable. But well, let's continue. Most notably, the 12 first party Switch games that were given free updates improving them on the Switch 2. The lack of the media reveals of third party Switch 2 games and the resistance by some players to accept the game keycard format could have also contributed to low third party launch sales. And also, why would you buy a digital version of Street Fighter 6 if you can get that on PC? Yeah, even I know it's fucking Capcom. I said yeah, stop supporting them, but also looking objectively, it's better having that on the Steam Deck. You can install mods. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is a fucking shit show. The small amount of people that play it actually say, do not buy this shit. Stick to the original. That's bad how things are for Sega. For Cyberbox, well, looks like they kinda were interested in that one. I have to bet it was because of the anime, Edge Runners. Well, let's continue. The majority of third-party Switch 2 launch status were also ports of games that have been released early on other consoles, meaning it's likely that players who wanted those games had already found a way to buy them by now. Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. It remains to be seen, then, how third-party games will fare on Switch 2 once the launch window is behind it, particularly when it comes to multi-format games that releases on the Switch 2 on the same day as on other systems. In general terms, launch lineups aside, third-party titles have often struggled to find success on Nintendo's platforms in recent years. I disagree with this one. Yeah, third-party Japanese games, for the expectations and the budget they put out with those games, they were performing better, and that was because Sony backstabbed Japan in the back. But now it's the turn on Nintendo. They already did it with the way how they allowed to have power and control Nintendo of America. to decide what is moral and what isn't for video game content, but also Nintendo is promoting DEI. So yeah, the Switch, the first one, at that point, yeah, it's the ones that already made their catalog from that console. Even if they just decided to jump on a Switch to just to play that say catalog with some extra update within the next generation of the console, yeah, probably at that point they don't want to buy more shit that they already have. But it's a lie. Third-party games have found success in Nintendo Switch, but looks like it's not going to be the same case for the Switch too. Oh, well, let's continue. This is due to the several factors, including the fact that the many quote-unquote core players will own other, often more powerful hardware as well as Nintendo console, yeah, like a PC. Despite the third-party sales issues, Nintendo Switch 2 is off to an extremely strong start. In the US, the system has enjoyed the biggest launch ever for a video game console, beating out the PlayStation 4. Nintendo's gonna Nintendo. The success story of the Nintendo Switch 2 is much the same in Japan, where it has enjoyed a huge launch. From Mitsu sales data shows that Switch 2 sold over almost 1 million consoles in its first 4 days in Japan. Well, yeah, Japan, they are going to also be jumping on that. And then they're going to complain when they are getting banned only because they wanted to back up their ROMs using that MIG cartridge. Because yeah, I'm aware the MIG cartridge can make you banned from not only your account, your entire console. Last week, Nintendo announced that the Switch 2 has sold 3.5 million units globally in its first 4 days on sale, making it its fastest selling Nintendo system ever, and likely the biggest ever console launch. In comparison, PlayStation 5 shipped not sold 3.4 million units in the first 4 weeks and sold and 4.5 million in the first 7 weeks. Though Sony's console suffered from significant stock shortages because of the scalpers. But we're looking at this. Yeah, they I think this article already told you that this fucking Sega that is not happy about it. But hey, they decided to jump on this. They say that yeah, let's follow with the pricing and with the physical release, despite that it's difficult for the West to have a physical copy of the Yakuza games. I know he already released it on the PlayStation 4 physically, but it's difficult to get them because of the scalpers and because yeah it's something that is not you're not going to find that easy on Amazon. And if we are talking about seeing them, but if the price is actually like quote unquote affordable. But hey, they decided to say, let's listen to Nintendo, let's jump on this, you will own nothing and you will be happy about it. Even at that point, what's the point of here? I know I already said it point 2 times. We are at this part, and one reason would you even buy a third-party game on the Nintendo Switch other than the exclusives, when the other ones they are going to have a PC release and they are going to perform better there. Just look at the Steam Deck; it's proof of that. So yeah, I think the third-party ones they are not going to be very happy about the Switch get to release because from reading this article, it looks like it's just going to be like with the other consoles, like yeah, software sales on consoles, not doing so well for third party. Yeah, let's stick to PC. Maybe that's why that way it also could kill Nintendo in the long run because if they acknowledge that yeah, even if we are going to make a physical release, let's make something Let's just stick to the digital release. You're going to chase away the ones that really wanted an actual physical release, but well, I already said that that shit is almost non-existent since the start of the PS4 era. But even the ones that say, if at this point it's just going to be all digital, I better jump on PC, and even I'm going to get a better discount or sell the 7Cs. I can install mods on it, and at the end of the day, PC is still winning by doing nothing, just existing. Unless these fuckers release a port that yeah is so fucking unoptimized to make some kind of fucking retarded chess move to make you buy a console to play an stable frame rate. Yeah, something like that's happened before, right, Soini? But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching and please take care.